warning that I'm going to be live, but I had to. I've got a little time to myself before I start. Um, Basically, getting the house ready to start dinner. We're going to eat prime rib tonight, and I got to get to the store. I'm going to make Neiman Marcus dip. I don't know if you've ever heard of it, but it's just mayo, shredded cheddar cheese, green onions, toasted almonds, and bacon. So, sounds pretty good to me. Anyway, well, I wish you all a very happy new year. And that I really do believe that it's going to get better. Lots of stuff going on in politics. Don't be surprised on January 6th. Either way, I don't trust anybody, but I also have hope. So when they start counting the votes and the senators bring up their challenges, because we all know what happened. I mean, Biden couldn't beat my dog in a presidential election. It was all fake and fucking phony. Anyway, but that's not the point. Point is this: something good is happening. Something good is on the horizon. Yesterday's there were two streams, Midnight's Edge, and then Drunk 3PO had Star Wars Theory and Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers on. And then after I shut down and went to bed, Ethan Van Sciver showed up, and the whole day was like lit. And now we find out Drunk 3PO, aka Jay, the most handsome man on YouTube, he's got Gina Carano coming up in an interview. And he intimated that there are good things on the horizon for Star Wars. Much better than what we've gotten. And with the Pablo Hidalgo temper tantrum freakout that went public, you know, Disney's watching. They're listening. They want to give us what we want. I really believe that, and the reason why I believe that is, somebody very high up, somebody who's part of the whole thing, basically said so to a YouTuber, and that makes me feel good. We should all just be celebrating. I mean, I've got this, and I might as well open it now and put it in the refrigerator. My refrigerator's a mess. Don't judge. Okay. Anyway, my husband stopped off at the state store and bought, ta-da, and you can bet your sweet Bippy this is being drunk tonight. After we do prime rib, after we eat, I'm going to get a very nice bottle of Cabernet too. So we'll have all that set up and ready to go. I got to clean this kitchen. I got to clean up the refrigerator and, just get everything ready and bring out the prime rib and let it rest before I throw it in the oven and, just let it do what it do. I'm going to cover it with some butter and garlic and rosemary and thyme and smear it really into it and maybe add, I'm not going to put any mustard on it. I've seen people do it. I did it last year. I didn't like it. But yeah, so it's good. I mean, things are about to get better. Okay? They really, really are. For, I think, a lot of things. I think the tide is somehow turning. I just feel like it. And, and again, yesterday with Tom and Andre and Ethan showed up and Cecil and Anna and everybody on the Midnight's Edge thing. And then on, Jay's, Drunk 3PO's stream, I just felt an overwhelming sense of peace, I think, within the fandom. you know, we're still going to get the pie-eyed weirdos from the SJW side screaming at us. And like today's Screen Rant was going off on the Han Solo, the comic books. Like anybody reads them. Like who cares? No one reads this shit. They're not canon. And really, I mean, the novels are not really canon. The comic books aren't canon. The only thing that's really canon are the TV shows and the films. And if Favreau and Filoni are mapping out a Star Wars verse, episode 7 and 9 through 9 are probably not canon now either. Or they're going to be in an alternate verse, which is fine. All the weirdos can have their daddy hate porn and scream and shout about white man bad. And the rest of us will go, we got Star Wars back. All right? I really think somewhere, someplace, somebody convinced Iger and Chapek to let Star Wars be Star Wars. Okay? It is what it is. And that is a good thing. All right? You can sit there and scream that, Kennedy's still there. Well, in what way is she still there? All right? In what way? In what kind of position does her job have any power over what Favreau and Filoni are doing? We don't know. I mean, to me, it looks like she's got nothing but busy work. All right? We'll have to see how this shakes up. But I really feel good about everything. I mean, when you hear people that are very knowledgeable about what's going on with Star Wars saying that, Kennedy can't go anywhere because it's an open secret that she fucked Star Wars up. That's why she's still there. Add the COVID thing and the fact that her job no longer is something needed by the companies because they're going to streaming and blockbusters, the things that she's been involved with. Why would you hire somebody like that for a salary as exorbitant as hers? Think about it. Yeah, I'm excited. I feel, I feel, I'm skeptical, but I'm not. I'm a little bit, I need more information. And yet, there's a certain energy coming around. And the fact that Gina Carano is allowed to say whatever she wants. She can go on Drunk's show. Drunk is a member of the Phantom Menace. And no one can stop it. The SJWs, I really think someone said Twitter doesn't matter. And Disney ran with it. I really, really think that. Because it doesn't. And it is sadly, it is a place where, as somebody who uses social media, you probably have to have a presence, but it's not a place you really want to hang out in too much because it's degenerated into a chimpanzee shit throwing show, and that's what it is, and we all just got to do what we got to do. Okay, that's what is going on here, and I am I'm extremely excited about this next year coming. I really, really am. I haven't felt this good since New Year's Eve 2016. We hung out, we watched the ball drop, we, drank a bottle of champagne, and, you felt like things were going to get better. And I really think a lot of things from 2017 to now, a lot of really bad people have been exposed, and people have alternatives. We are making up our own minds on a lot of things, and the people who kind of follow the herd are doing it to virtue signal, are doing it to be popular, are doing it because they're afraid. And there's nothing to be afraid of. There really isn't. I mean, you know, and a lot of people have just said, fuck it. I don't care what other people think. I'm going to do it this way. Or I'm going to say what's on my mind. And, I'm seeing it everywhere. And I'm seeing, it just, we're never not going to have a fight on our hands. Okay, I'm not saying the fight is over. The left never stops. They morph into something else. I don't know if you guys realize, but Antifa and the social justice movement has existed for decades in Europe. Okay, they just imported that shit here. Okay, this is why we've got what we've got. But watching even liberals, Mark Hamill's tweet from last night, and then his tweet from today being overwhelmed by the response of the fans. If you don't believe things are getting better at Lucasfilm and that Rian Johnson doesn't have a trilogy, even though a lot of angry YouTubers that want the EU and they don't want anything else want y'all to believe that nothing good ever happens. Nothing good. It would be wise for them to educate themselves on financials. Disney's up to here in debt. They've laid off thousands. Okay. Yesterday, Tom Connors and Andre both brought up the fact that maybe Pablo's already gone because on his old account, retired having fun. Maybe he broke an NDA. Why would it surprise anybody that when Disney started laying people off, his name didn't come up with a short straw? All right. His wife was furloughed, for crying out loud, and she's probably not coming back. I mean, why on earth would somebody pay San Francisco salary for public outreach for a movie studio? Why does a movie studio need that? That was Kristen Hidalgo's job. You see where I'm going? All right. This is all good, guys. This is all, we got this, okay? So let not your heart be troubled. I am really, I look at, there are some concerns. Patty Jenkins, the pear-shaped female, who ruined Wonder Woman, is going to be directing Rogue Squadron. But, there is that rumor out there that Lucas is actually writing the scripts. And if that's the case, she can't really fuck it up. I mean, you get a director, but someone who can actually write, and the director follows what the writer wants. And I really think that in that circumstance, Jenkins is going to shut her mouth and do what he says. All right, if he's the director. And then we got Acolyte, which I'm still out to lunch. Everybody says, no, it takes place in the same timeline. And then I've seen where they basically said it's an alternate timeline. I mean, Disney said it was an alternate timeline. And we've got Children of Blood and Bone. But, as Tom yesterday said, be very shocked if any of that stuff ever makes past development. All right? Again, Disney can use the excuse, we don't have the money. We can't afford it. We're spending money on Obi-Wan, Mando 3, Boba Fett, Ahsoka, Rangers of the New Republic, Cassian Andor, which may or may not actually be good. I don't have a problem with Rogue One. What I have a problem with is, 7 through 9, Solo, A Soy War Story, the novels, the shitty comic books, the shitty new characters, all of that, then you see word out there that SJWs are freaking out that the reaction to Luke was far better than, any reaction to Rey. It's like, well, people don't like Rey. Does anybody here like Rey? No. Okay? And that's okay. That's fine. Right? Anyway, I'm just here because Um, this is really funny. If you go on Twitter, go to Man Ray Sky, that's Kristen Hidalgo's Twitter account, and she's got on the header a black guy sitting on a bench, and it says, you in order to hate something, I'm paraphrasing, in order to hate something, you have to love it. Do anybody out there see the hypocrisy of that? Okay, she can say that, but if you tell her, her husband, Daniel Jose Older, Chuck Wendig, Claudia Gray, Justina Ireland, any of these people, including the people at work, the other people that work at Lucasfilm inside, not just contract writers, but that the sequel trilogy sucked, Admiral Holdo sucked, Rose Tico was a terrible character. Finn was misused. No one wants to see any of these characters again. You're not allowed to say that. You're not allowed to say, I hate these movies. You're not allowed to call out Rian Johnson. All right? And yet, this hypocrite has this up there, unheard. I can hate those things if I want, because it is a poorly conceived idea of what Star Wars is. And we've talked about it here ad nauseum. It's time for people to just go, you guys are over. You guys canceled yourselves. All right, we're moving on with good Star Wars and Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni. And I know there are a lot of people that don't trust Filoni, but there's a reason why Favreau brought him on board. Okay, think about it. Think about it. All right. Anyway, I want to come on here and kind of wave the flag of, we found a hill to fight on. We fought it. We fought this battle. There are going to be other ones, but the tide is turning. All right. So I'm really, really optimistic. I'm not even cautiously optimistic. I am. I know, Tauntaun Girl. I know. I'm like, Pablo, fuck off. Okay, just, I mean, there's a reason why Mazarius calls him Pablo Hidalgo. I mean, there's a reason why the guys on the Fandom Collective last night were calling him that. I mean, this guy has been a shit person since the day Lucas walked out the door. Okay? And you can't do what you do, what he has done, and think you're going to get away with it all the time. Okay? What I want someone to do, if there's somebody watching this that maybe could quietly fill it in for me, why on his new account does it say broken promises on there? See, he's signaling something to somebody. He has to be, just like retired having fun was a signal. Okay? So don't be surprised if there's more public outcry, if there's more if there's more mainstream stories about all this. And don't get upset when you see Star Wars Theory getting raked over the coals. The people that read Variety and the entertainment rags are Lucasfilm employees that are on Kennedy's side. They are people from other studios who are intimidated and angry that people like Jay, Drunk 3PO, Midnight's Edge, Ethan Van Sciver, Geeks and Gamers, me, Anna, all these other people have YouTube followings, and we don't owe them anything. All right? We're not shills. I'm not going to sit there and say, I will kiss Rian Johnson's fat ass if I can get tickets to the premiere. I've been to movie premieres. I have actually met the actors. They're not that big of a deal, okay? In fact, a lot of times that they show up, they're there, they're in the lobby, you see them, you go into the movie theater and realize they're not there anymore. They go in and show up and they're somewhere else in the building, okay? or if they do watch, they don't watch the whole thing. They've seen it a million times. And I, you know, oh yeah, Disney threw good money after bad when they okayed this. Okay, and again, they're going to run into a problem when they try to sell those. It's not going to go anywhere. I mean, nobody's going to read that shit. Nobody. All right, you know, uh, the reaction, even after they fixed it, they said, was just, I, no one cares. You know what I'm saying? I don't care. You don't care. I mean, it's just something that you're not going to spend money on. I mean, do you guys know this? They have a 6-inch Black Series Jar Jar Banks. Do you want to know what? I want one. I want one. I want one. 8 years ago, if you'd asked me, do you want to collect Star Wars figures, I'd have said, maybe I'll get a Han, a Leia, and a Luke, and maybe a Vader and stuff, but not really. And after The Force Awakens came out, I decided, what the hell? I'll watch the prequels. And I realized what great stories they were. And now I've got two different Anakins. I've got two different Obi-Wans. I'm gonna get the most recent Obi-Wan. I've got a Qui-Gon Jinn. I've got all these great prequel characters, and I need a Jar Jar Banks. I just do. But there you go, and that's a great thing. And it's really funny how really bad Star Wars can revive a person's interest in stuff you thought was bad, and you realized it wasn't. All right, it's really interesting to me. And the people who hate the prequel trilogy, the ones George Lucas during the childhood, shut up. Shut up. You're just as bad as the sequel trilogy fans, okay? The prequels were good stories. Sure, there were problems with the dialogue. There were problems with dialogue in the OT. So shut up, okay? It's time to not do that anymore. The prequels are canon. And there you go. Anyway, I want to put that out there. I hope you all had a great day. Have a great New Year's Eve night. This is my last live for 2020, unless news comes over that something big just happened, and of course we all have to talk about it. But just be optimistic. Everything's gonna, I think, going the way it needs to. So this is Steph signing out till 2021. I'll see you next year. See you around the galaxy. Happy New Year, Frank.